It's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Villa fans. I got no audio on that whatsoever, so I don't know if any entrance music played. But welcome everybody to For the Love of Pomegranate podcast. We have a car edition tonight from me. I'm on location again on holidays with the family, but wanted to pop on and chat about Club America tonight. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me, Paddy?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Great, excellent. At least that's working, for Jesus' sake. It's been a struggle of the highest degree to try and get on the podcast tonight. Paddy, do you know anything about Club America?
They're from Mexico and they're very successful, and that's probably about the extent of it. And I'd imagine it's going to be quite a tough test as well, like the rest of them.
Yeah, I think there will be a tough test. They've got a fellow up front called Henry Martin. That's what I'm calling him because I know of a fellow called Henry Martin, and he's Henry Martin. Fairly good striker. He was a really good striker for Club America. Mexican international, leads the line for the Mexican team. Keeps the likes of Santiago Jimenez out of the team. They've also got what's the guy's name? They've a Dutch player who played with Feyenoord. His name might come to me later on. He'll definitely be on the team sheet, I would imagine, tonight. But these guys are no mugs. They have another guy in the middle of midfield called Eric Sanchez, Mexican international midfielder. I think we're going to be giving out about Eric Sanchez if he plays today. He can be a bit. He's a very good player, but he's a bit. He can leave the foot in at times. When he plays. So yeah, they're no mugs, as you said. They're really, really successful, and they're the pride of Mexico for a reason. So another good test for Aston Villa tonight. And whatever team we put out, I don't know what team we're going to put out. I'm not even going to guess. I'm looking for more of a performance tonight, more so than any results. I just don't want any sloppy errors. I don't want any sloppy miscommunications for goals. And I'd like to see us be a bit more creative, because we haven't really been very creative in this off-season so far.
No, and especially in the last two since we've gone to America, we've been quite poor in the final third. Put that down to two things: number one, the opposition, and number two, we're probably without our best striker. So, that's obviously a huge thing. And there were some people asking in the comments there before you come on when we see them back. They're all due back in on training on Monday and Tuesday, so we will more than likely see Martinez, Ollie Watkins, Ezri Konza for Dortmund next weekend, but I don't envisage seeing them before then. So that's what we're all waiting on, obviously. And it's 2 weeks now to the opening day of the season, so the business end is starting to kick in of this pre-season. Again, as I said so many times with all the other games, it's not important. The result itself is not important, although I'm sure Unai Emery wants to come out of America with at least one win under his belt, and to at least give Club America a good rattle tonight. So fingers crossed that he gets that. And and more importantly, to all the fans in America that have turned out in their droves, absolute droves, to watch the games, that they get something to cheer about tonight.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to say something that people aren't going to want to hear. There's a certain section of the crowd aren't going to like to hear. But we're in the United States as a fucking marketing exercise, and to run the bollocks off the players for the last 2 weeks. That's why we're there. We're not there to win 4-0 against Leipzig, to win 6-0 against Club America. Look, it would have been great to win those games. And look, the game against Columbus Crew, guys were only on touchdown, 2 days prior to that. I'd say they ran to within an inch of their lives. Against Leipzig, it's just stupid errors. Who would say this, but Robin Olsen getting injured really disrupts that team. Is he going in goals? Nothing against him, but he's a young kid. Communication in the back line was absolutely dross for the whole lot of the game. Diego Carlos gets sent off, and then we end up with a centre half pairing at one stage of Amadou Onana and Lamar Bogart, and we come out with a 2-0 loss. Realistically speaking, the next day then they were in Times Square with billboards up beside Eminem and Floyd Mayweather and John Gotti were squaring up to each other in front of their billboard. This is 100% a marketing exercise. There's obviously the game. The team is training hard, and Kelly Harrington won. Brilliant. But the team is obviously training hard, and Villa hopefully will reap the benefits of that along with the marketing that comes in it. And the reason I say this as well, and I'm not denigrating the performance, not denigrating the players, I'm not denigrating the exercise that comes with it, but arguably our three best players are missing: Konza, Martinez, Ollie Watkins. And they're going to come back into the team, as you said, next week. And, that's when the real planning, I suppose, begins, because you can't plan. You can't go into these games and say, okay, we're going to get you to play exactly the same way as Watkins. We're going to get you to play exactly the same way as Martinez. And we're going to get you to play the exact same way as Konza. Because it just ain't happening, no matter who you put in there. It would be brilliant if it did, but it isn't. And these guys, I saw a comment there. I'd imagine these guys are doing double sessions, and they're probably being worked on game day too. So for me, we're getting out of this what we probably want to get out of it, and the balance sheet will probably look better for it. And I know not a lot of people want to hear that, but that's the way I'm viewing this trip. Am I wrong, Paddy?
Well, I missed an awful lot of what you said there, because either you froze or I froze or we both froze, but I couldn't see anything.
Froze.
But we can rest assured that we will see Aston Villa in America for the foreseeable future for pre-season, because it's been a remarkable exercise. It's breaking into the American market for so many reasons. It's important. And look, the lads who are getting to see, especially the expats who don't get to see them too often, they're getting to see 3 games in a week. It's absolutely fantastic, and that's brilliant for them. But first and foremost, we're there, as you say, as a marketing exercise to promote the club, to put the club on the map, and that's absolutely fine by me. That's what we want. We want our club to be recognised around the world, and how we do that is by putting it on American TV and spreading the word.
Have we a team yet, Paddy?
No. Oh, we have just this second.
You're going to have to call it out, Paddy. I'd love to be able to share it, but I had to kill I'm trying to run 2 different systems here to see which one is better, but I had to kill the other one there because it just ain't working.
No problem. So he's gone with Gauchi in goal, Cash, Bogard, Pau, and Matson. Onana, Tielemans, Rogers, McGinn, Bailey, and Archer.
Interesting. And can I ask you a question, Paddy?
Yeah.
Is Diego Carlos on the bench?
No.
Here we go. Let the rumors begin.
There are no rumors. I don't think we'll ever see Diego Carlos play for Aston Villa again.
That's what I'm saying, Paddy. Like, I sent out a tweet before the Leipzig game because I got a sniff, and yeah, he gets a 1-game suspension is right, but I got a sniff that he was next guy out the door. Now I don't know how true that is. Like, anybody who passes me information, I take it at face value, and if it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. And I'm not in the know or anything like that, but it'd be interesting to see what the situation is with regards to it. Just the reason being is that, like, Freeney isn't there because he's after Shrewsbury, and I'm just excited to see Lamar Bogard in there tonight. And the fact that he's not playing Amadou Onana in there is good too, because I don't think we learn anything or we benefit anyway by putting him in there.
Centre half, no, absolutely not. I'm just trying to type up the thing here so we can put it on the ticker for you, Neil, to make things easier and for those watching. Yeah, look, there's no. I'll just call out the subs while I'm there. Ziyech, Wright, Barkley, Buendia, Luca Dean, Alex Moreno, Philogene, Illing Jr., Nedeljkovic, Barnechea, Dobbin, Kessler Hayden, Dendonker, Ramsey, and Feeney. We're obviously
Yeah.
not going to see all of them tonight because there's so many
We're-
players in there.
No, and I would imagine the only reason Feeney is there is that they've probably just delayed his loan. He is moving to Shrewsbury. Obviously he's in the States now. Listen, look, we might need to use him tonight potentially at some stage, and that's why he's probably on the bench there. But he is moving to Shrewsbury, more or less a done thing, and it's going to be a good link up for him. But be interesting to see what they do if they do need to bring somebody into centre half. I really don't want to see them put Amadou and Anna in there. I really don't, because I don't think we learn anything. I don't think there's anything to be gained by doing that so early in his career. And if you are going to do that with somebody, put Nedeljkovic in there. Put him in there. See what he
Yeah.
can do at centre half. You know, the Serbian media seem to think he's the new Branislav Ivanovic. So put him in there. See if he can do it at 18 years of age. You're not going to ruin his confidence. Put him in there and see if he can do it. You're going to be putting in a 19-year-old in Josh Feeney. So put in an 18-year-old Nedeljkovic in there and maybe go to 3 at the back or something. And then put an Anna in there as well with him and allow an Anna break free. Just going to be interesting to see what happens. Is Dendonker on the bench, Paddy? Because he could be another guy that could be utilised as an auxiliary centre half if needed.
Yeah, Dendonker is on the bench.
Plays there for Brazil or for Belgium. Yeah.
I'm trying to show the banner won't play. Oh, there we go.
And Josh Norris is on the same wavelength as me. We're very often simpatico. Josh, I see you have it in there too.
Yeah, and look, he can do a job both in midfield and in defence. We've seen he played regularly in defence for Belgium as well in that 3-man back three centre halves. Yeah, look, there's nothing major here other than the Diego Carlos. I don't think he gets a suspension, does he? Is that correct?
Is it not one of these Premier League tournament games that we're playing at the minute?
No, it's not a Premier League game.
I know it's not a Premier League game, but it's a Premier League tournament.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not a Premier League tournament game. No.
Okay. Well,
as
then
far
is
as I'm
that
aware,
suspended,
well, I don't think so. No, as far as I'm aware, we opted out of that last year because the parameters that we're operating in were too hard to operate by. And look what happened. We ended up playing Newcastle twice in the space of 3 weeks last season. Somebody's asking Barkley on the bench. I can't type them all out. I'll call them out again. Ziyech, Wright, Barkley, Buendia, Dean, Moreno, Philogene, Illing Jr., Nedeljkovic, Barnechea, Dobbin, Kessler Hayden, Dendonker, Ramsey, and Feeney.
There we go.
Yeah, they're calling it the League's Cup. That's what I saw today. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's suspended. To be honest with you, it doesn't really matter anyway because he's not on the bench, and even if he is suspended, there still is very heavy rumours about him leaving the club. But regardless of that, like the rumour mill will kick into full force, I suppose, over the next couple of days with regards to his future at the club. I know a couple of people are asking me to shed some light in this situation. I can't. I'm in a car. I can put it closer to my face, but nobody wants to. And then I drop my phone. Nobody wants to see that. Yeah. People on the bench, Paddy, that I'm looking forward to seeing. Obviously, Jaden for the Jim Benes, looking forward to him coming on for a cameo. Emmy Buendia as well. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing the Onana Tielemans axis there at the double pivot. Obviously playing there for I did it again. I called Belgium Brazil. Obviously playing there for Belgium. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do in there for Villa as well. And also Cameron Archer, being the only fit striker in the team. I think it's a good thing he's gone with him and not playing Rodgers up top. I think we lose something when Rodgers isn't on that left-hand side, specifically when we're set up like this. So Rodgers, although even in this situation here, Rodgers will float in and around the place. But yeah, it's might as well play Archer up there. He's centre forward. He's for selling Duran, which looks still like a 50-50 at the moment. You need to play Cameron Archer. You need to play him in games like this. There's no point not playing him up top. He is our only fit striker there. And if you're going to be messing around playing Morgan Rogers up there in a game like this and not playing Cameron Archer because you want to see what Rogers can do, no, for me, Cameron Archer needs the game time. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't envisage we're going to see wholesale changes in this one either. I think we'll see 60 minutes out of a lot of players. The only thing that's thrown me a little bit is like they've literally named everybody on the bench. You've got like 20 players by the looks of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah,
12,
Sfinkles is missing. I see a couple of lads there mentioned. Sfinkles. He's not on the bench.
Yeah, 16 players on the bench. Like you can't play them all. I don't envisage that you're going to have both Dina and Moreno coming off the bench, and then you're not going to have all of Philogene, Illing Jr., Dobbin, Ramsey. They can't all come on, but we'll see what he decides to do. We do have a couple more games. We've obviously got the game midweek and then Dortmund at the weekend, and then a behind closed doors one in between there and the start of the season. So there's plenty there. There's a lot of people mentioning Olsen as well. As far as I'm aware, Olsen was concussed, so he will have to follow the return to play protocols with that and won't be in the squad tonight. I'm hoping that's all it is. It was a knock to the head and pretty nasty one, and probably could have been sorted out if the referee had given the free that was caused on the edge of the box in the lead up to that. But there you go.
Yeah,
I know somebody mentioned in the comments earlier to talk about the game the other night, but the game was just a shit show from the time from start to finish. Let's be honest. But when Carlos went off, we actually played a little bit better and had more of the ball, I thought. But yeah, I woke up Thursday morning and decided I'm never doing that again. I'm not staying up on a school night to try and get up for work the next morning. There's more to life than that. So next pre-season, unless I'm on holidays somewhere, Neil, I'm not getting up at that hour to watch Villa again. Hats off to all the boys. Hats off to all the boys and girls in Australia and New Zealand that do that on a weekly basis, because I was just wrecked on Thursday after.
Yeah, look, the game. I was annoyed more so at anything going down to 10 men with a full half to play in pre-season. Like it's just needless. It's needless. And I know, look, that's the talking point really. I know Openda flopped, and I know that he did it for the first. Like, there's just no need to get involved. Like, there is no need to get involved in that stuff in pre-season. It means nothing. Yeah, it is what it is. The second half was then very much for me. It was just a case of damage limitation, and we did limit the damages. As I say, having a centre half partnership of Lamar Bogard and Amadou Onana at times in the second half was interesting, and that was the only real interest I had in the game after Carlos got sent off. And interested to see how the young goalkeeper went. He was grand, but the communication was all over the place, I think, for the whole lot of the game. Really, with the back four.
Breaking news as well from Soldier Field. The game is being rescheduled and won't start until 4:40 local time, 10:40 UK and Ireland time. So 10 minutes.
So it's only 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
10 minutes, that's fine. It must be thunder in the air, so something along those lines.
Could be, or just hopefully it's a volume of traffic and we get a much bigger crowd into this one. I was a bit disappointed by the lack of bodies in the ground in New York, so I'm hoping that they get a better crowd tonight. And you'd have to think with the expat population from Mexico based up around there as well, that it will be a significant interest in the game.
Yeah, somebody's saying there it's due to the weather. Adam S is saying due to the weather, and so it's flange there too. Yeah, I tried to put on a bit of a light there. I feel like I'm telling a ghost story. It's like on a deep dark November afternoon. The big man jumped over. Yeah, it feels a bit strange here. This is the things we do, doing podcasts in our cars at almost 10 o'clock at night.
When you started off, I thought I thought you were kind of like your man from 3 Bucks Left. I was waiting on you to give the wink there when you got in. But yeah, you're turned to a ghost story now at this stage.
Yeah, and you can't see the rest of my body, so I'm like one of those floating heads in
Floating
what was
head.
that Queen
Yeah.
music video? It's like, look, where doesn't he have a body? Oh, I don't know. Does he? Well, I can tell you I do, and it's getting fatter by the second. Who's that bloke in the back seat? Says Mark Wood. Like scary movie, someone jumps out there. What was I going to say there? I had something else there that was just about the last game as well, and there wasn't too much in it. I can imagine, like the players looked leggy. The players looked like they've been doing double sessions. Even like the John McGinn looked like he was doing double sessions, and I'd imagine Unai Emery wasn't too. Well, I wouldn't expect him to be too animated after a game like that, and he wasn't really. I was very interested, Paddy, that he chose to speak about João Felix. Anything to be read into that, or was he just being honest?
Well, what did he say other than he's a good player? He didn't say he was trying to sign him or anything, did he?
Yeah. Well, he did.
As you said from the start of this is a junket to America, and for us to be linked with players like this is only a good thing from a club point of view. So he's got to say something, but with being respectful of the fact that it's somebody else's player. That I only saw the written comments about what he said. I didn't actually see the interview itself, but I don't think he actually said anything to give anything away by any means.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. I think. I think that
that's going to be lost on a lot of our audience, Jer.
That's going to be lost on a ton of our audience. Exactly. Yeah. Google it afterwards, guys. A Scare at Bedtime with Padge and Raj. I think probably it became newsworthy because the game was so shite. I think against Leipzig, it was a case of they're talking about João Felix prints papers, as well. And look, I think that one's just going to rumble on. Honestly, myself, and I've said this online as well, if we've got, and I don't know how much we have, obviously we don't know, no one knows how much we have, but if you've got 70 million, let's say, in the bank left, and you want to strengthen, you're probably, for me, and I've kind of always been on this route, for me, you're better off spending 50 of it on a centre half and 20 of it on 10 on a 30-year-old striker, and see if we can bring in a young a young number 10. Like they are out there, of all the positions, there's young 10s out there. Yeah, is he going to hit the ground straight away? No. I like João Felix. If we do end up spending 60 million on João Felix, so be it. Brilliant. But of all the positions I find in the field that you could go in, maybe 10's too low, maybe 15, maybe 20 on a young number 10. Of all the positions in the field where you can, like, if you're going to buy João Felix, he's not going to break his nut running backwards to try and defend. So if you really want to go in and strengthen in that position as well, you can strengthen 3 or 4 what was I saying there? 3 different positions for the cost of him. So opportunity cost is what I'm looking at there. Now, who knows what we're going to spend on João Felix? Who knows what we're like? Maybe we have money to spend on a centre half and João Felix. Who knows? But nobody knows. But if you can only just, like, if we are portioning the João Felix money, we could apportion it in 3 different directions as opposed to what's rumoured for João Felix. But saying that if João Felix comes in, I'll be over the moon because he's a good player. So it's just kind of, it's one of these things that happens during transfer season, that because teams don't talk about players and because they can't talk openly about players an awful lot, it becomes a kind of a situation that anything can fill the void. Hence the amount of rumours that come out, hence the amount of interviews lost in translation that are misconstrued and so on. And, everything fills the void because no one has certainty with any of these situations.
Well, there's so much to go on with the PSR rules. The way I understand it is, if you buy a player for 15 or for 50 million, you don't pay it straight up. That comes out over a period of time of his contract. So there's so much that we don't know and don't understand about how it works. I wouldn't be too I wouldn't be too worried about it. We just let them work their magic and bring in who they need to bring in. Liam wants to know when you're going to start singing Bohemian Rhapsody there, Neil.
That's what I was trying to. That's the song the Queen song I was trying to think of. Yeah, where you could just see their heads.
Matt Halloran, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Put that in before we even started tonight. Fair play.
Yeah.
Anything else, Neil?
I don't really have anything else, no, because I don't know what to make. Don't know what to make of these, as I say, because it's a case of, like, as I said, this is a marketing thing. This is Hex. And when I say by Heck, I mean HECK. Chris Heck is probably doing a lot of work on this trip, and so he should. If he wants to get us up to 400 million turnover in the next 2 years, he better be sweating claret and blue with the amount of work he's doing while he's over there, and I'm sure he is. You know, to get up on one of the on such a prominent store in Times Square is big. You know, and I know. In a way, for us to be so happy about that seems a bit small time, but it's stepping stone for the club as to where we need to get them with regards to marketability. You know, the fact that the Ozzy Osbourne video, release video, went worldwide and went viral. Then to hit on this afterwards, it's something new to the club to be able to capitalize on stuff like this. You know, and being in the United States to be able to put that in Times Square, one of the most viewed places in the whole entire world, can only be a good sign. Can only be a good sign for commercial entities. I know a lot of people say winning will bring us money and stuff like that, but there are a lot of shit teams out there that don't win anything, that have massive turnovers. You know, so this needs to be done too. And as I say, you know, I'm finding it really difficult to read anything into tonight. I'm going to enjoy watching the game, don't get me wrong. Really want to see what Lamar Bogart is like, as we spoke about those players on the bench as well that have potential to come on. But I'm really keeping my feet in the ground with regards to the fact that if we go out and lose 4-0 again tonight, it's not panic stations. It shouldn't be panic stations for anybody. You guys can find out what you want. But for me, it won't be panic stations because we're down lots of players, number one. And number two, these guys are over there to sweat again. And then the club is over there to sell the vision for the club.
Yeah, and as I always point out to everybody, that in the pre-season that Stephen Gerrard had us for, we won every game, and look what happened once the real football kicked off. So there's plenty more to worry about other than the result here today. And exactly. I, for one, am looking forward just to getting to know these new players and what they can do. And I enjoyed the couple of ventures into the other half of the pitch from Onana the other night until he had to go back to centre half. We'll hopefully see more of that tonight and just enjoy it for what it is. And hopefully we've no shithousery like we had to put up with the other night. But
exactly.
He's getting fella. Are you still there, Neil?
I think I am. Yeah. You broke up there, but yeah, perfect. I wasn't talking, sorry. So that's probably why you couldn't hear me. And for the person who said I'm staking out a bank, shh, you'll blow my cover, mad villain. You'll blow my cover.
I want to give a shout out to our mate Del Boy. Was on the phone to him there earlier on. Good lad, Del Boy, and we're looking forward to the new season getting going again. I'm sure we'll see you at an away game in London or who knows, a home game in Villa Park for Neil Stagg, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to get on that.
One of them anyway.
Sure. One of the many stags that people are setting up for me, which is all good. I'll go on all of them. There's no problem. Right, I think I'm actually going to have to go because I've only got 3% phone battery as well. There's nearly 1,400 people watching me in almost total darkness, being lit only by my laptop screen, which I cannot get connected to my hotspot here. So that's the level of crap I had to go through. That's why we were late. But thank you so much to every single one of you. If you're watching on Twitter or on X, and you don't follow us on YouTube, just go over there and click subscribe. You don't even have to watch us there at all. We will continue to stream to both, but just helps us algorithmically. And then conversely as well, if you are on YouTube and you fancy sauntering into the cesspit that has become X at the moment, just go in there and give us a follow. You don't have to watch us on there, but algorithmically, it just really, really helps us out. And I really just wanted to say algorithmically because I was feeling, I didn't feel as tongue-tied as I normally do in these podcasts. So I said I'd give it a go, and I think I nailed it.
Nearly did a savage job, and fair play to you. And fair play to those 1,400 people who are in here tagging along with us, waiting on the bit of action tonight because, look, it's great to be back. Really looking forward to 2 weeks' time when we're talking about real football. But for now, we'll enjoy talking about what these preseason games throw at us and what the transfer window is throwing at us, because we think there's more to come. There's definitely more outgoings, and who knows what's going to come in. And it's exciting. It's exciting when you meet people on the street and they go, "Well, Villa are having a great transfer window." So roll on Saturday fortnight and West Ham away. But for now, we'll go and enjoy this one and for what it is, and get the minutes in the legs, and fingers crossed above all else, everyone stay fit and healthy on that pitch.
Absolutely. 100% agree. Thanks everybody for watching. And if you're listening back to this afterwards, thanks a million for listening back to this afterwards. Depends on what fit of madness hits me. I might come on and do a post-match. Don't hold me to it because, as I say, I'm not exactly in the most accessible of areas, but if we win 4-0, it might be worth capping that with a post-match. I know Paddy's looking down going, "You never mentioned this to me. I'm not bothering my hole coming on if we win." It's going to be too late.
Well, for once, I'll be here. It's grand. I don't mind. Okay. Whatever you want to do, I'll be here.
We'll see. Keep an eye on social media for that. But thanks ever so much, everyone. I'll be back in my familiar surroundings from Tuesday. But if anything breaks, I've got a funny feeling. I've been saying it for the last couple of days. I think that there's irons in the fire, I suppose, with regards to this club over the next few days. And I think that it will be kind of, as they say in the golf parlance, it'll be like moving day, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. And we'll start to see stuff come out of the club. Not that I know of anything, but I just think it makes sense, getting players in prior to the season. And we'll see what happens there. But if anything breaks, try and pop on again for a while just to chat about it. But yeah, I'll let you all guys all go and get ready. For those of you who are not aware, the game is now going to be pushed back by 10 minutes. So it was supposed to start at 10:30 British and Irish time. It's now going to be 10:40. Okay, so in case you're wondering where it is, I'm sure the wonderful lads at Villa TV will fill with commentary for those extra 10 minutes anyway, because they're doing a super job, Rego and Ian Taylor. So we'll see you again soon. Thanks a million for watching. Hope you all stay safe and you stay healthy. And I hope Aston Villa win. And all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.